lumber, tools, build. Last week I built a covered sandbox. Here in Florida you need some shade or your goose is cooked. I was going to put a shade canopy on it, and you can find those plans on my website, simplyeasydiy.com. However, I've always wanted to build a pergola. Or is it a shade arbor? I didn't know, so I consulted Professor Google, and apparently the difference has to do with the thing. I still have no idea. Nah, I'm just kidding. A pergola is usually attached to another structure on one side, whereas an arbor is usually constructed over a walkway, and generally you don't sit under it. Well, this is sort of a cross between the two, so yeah, I still don't know. A quick trim on the miter saw will give me the links that I need, and those links can be found on my website at simplyeasydiy.com. This is going to require a lot of glue, so I'm going to make sure I top off my glue bottle before I begin, and I've got to work fast because I'm sandwiching all the posts together into one glue up, so I'm racing against the open time on my glue. Because I didn't want treated lumber and that's all I could find locally by way of 4x4s, I decided to make my own. Instead of using 2x4s for each post, I'm using one 2x4 and one 1x4. The 1x4 is a different length from the 2x4, and you'll see why later. Just a fair warning, I'm taking liberties all over the place with this project. With those in the clamps, time to work on the cross beams. These are 2x6s that I'll trim the sides. Then measure a mark here, and measure a mark there. Connect the two dots, and it's off with the jigsaw. Simple, really. Clean that up a little bit. The rafters are just 2x4s. They just get a simple 45-degree angle cut in both ends, and the miter saw takes care of that job, no problem. The diagonal cross pieces, 2x6s. I'll shape these a bit differently, and to do that, I'll need to break out a highly calibrated piece of equipment. Don't feel bad if you don't have one as top shelf as mine. I'm all about class here at Simply Easy DIY. That trash can had a funny lip on it, and I don't want my final profile to be like that. So, precision is the name of the game now. Hands like a surgeon. Jigsaw, take it away. After that, I need some angles cutting those ends, and I'll just lay these out so I can mark a rough line, just to help me keep my cuts headed in the right direction. Miter saw gives me what I need here. And that'll work just fine. By this time, my posts are dry and out of the clamps. I'll just clean these up a little bit by running them through my table saw so I can take off that mess. But now, I have these sharp corners, which I do not want. A round over bit in my trim router makes short work of those. If you don't have a router or a round over bit, not to worry. A sander with some 80 grit sandpaper will take care of you. Or you can just deal with the sharp corners. It's your boat. Float it like you want. Time to put some stuff together. Liberties warning. The size of my arbor / pergola affords me to be able to lay out the cross beam and set the posts across it like so. I'll just make sure the two pieces meet at the end of my taper. A large drywall square will be my lovely assistant today to help me square the post with the crossbeam. If you don't have one of these, a regular framing square will do you just fine, or you could use the 3-4-5 method, whatever works for you. Screws instead of bolts. Use bolts if you want. Don't judge me, YouTube. Cats. All she wants is food. Flip the whole thing over and attach the diagonal braces. See? Told you all she wanted was food. Now, some of you may have a question right about now, and if you ask that question in the comments, I'm just gonna say website, because I'll discuss it over there. Installation time. Our arbor is going over the kids' sandbox, so I'll just slide one side up to where I want it and start digging some holes. Now, I cannot go over every possible situation or outcome one may encounter while building a project like this. It can't be done. You're just gonna have to know a little bit about where you live, your ground characteristics, building codes, things like that, and go from there. I will show you what I did, and if that helps, great. 18 inches is what I'm looking for. This is a liquid rubberized material that is often used on roofs. There are several different types of materials that can be used for an application like this, but it does need to stay pliable so that it will expand and contract with the post. If it doesn't, you're going to have problems. Some gravel at the bottom of the hole is going to help with drainage. In fact, a lack of drainage is a big reason why posts fail prematurely. All right, here we go. I do not use concrete to set posts anymore. A hurricane or two will break you of that habit pretty quick. Also, concrete holds moisture next to the post, causing premature rot. I might talk a little bit more about that over on the blog post. Check the description. I'll have all the links in there. Now, as long as I don't compact the dirt around the post just yet, I can still adjust it a little bit this way or that. That way I can make everything plumb and level. Same thing for the front side. The difference here is I want to make sure the two sides are level with each other. So I'll lay out one of the rafters across them and check a level. I'll do that for both sides. I also want to make sure the posts on both sides are the same distance from each other, and adjust as needed. Now I'll lay my rafters in place. And set the front overhang. Then all I have to do is mark those lines. Take the rafters back to my shop and use that line as a guide to drill some pocket holes. Lay them back in place, line up the marks to the beam, and do the thing. For the side trellises, I'm just using a basic vertical slat design. Now, I've seen some pretty cool setups on these things, so it all depends on how intricate you want to be. But that, my friends, I will leave to you. As for me, I'll throw some stain on here, lay some shade cloth over the top, and my job is done. SimplyEasyDIY.com for a cut list and materials. Until then.